Hey everyone, it's good to be with you on Read Through the Word. Today is March the 19th. And there are days that are easier to pick that lesson out. And then there's some days where I'm just like, all right, I'm not seeing anything. I know you feel that way too. I know that when you're reading, you're thinking, okay, where's my nugget? Where's my nugget? Because we talk about the fact that even if we don't understand everything, we ask God to show us one thing, just one thing, Lord. And so one word popped out, and I've taught on this word before, but I love the connection that this word has to the New Testament. And that's one of the great joys that I'm discovering anew in last year and this year of reading through the Word, is trying to find that common thread between the Old Testament and New Testament with certain words and certain passages. And sometimes the passage from the Old Testament is repeated in the New Testament. So in what context was that spoken, and who spoke it, who repeated it? Most of the time it was Paul and Jesus, because they were, did the majority of the speaking and in the New Testament. But so this connection here is super, super cool, because it's a word that's mentioned in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and it means basically the same thing, which is, again, uncanny. God does this. So we've talked about and emphasized the word careful and carefully the other day, a while back. I don't remember when it was. The fact that we should carefully obey, and that means to really take care of them, to treasure them. Let's see, to guard them, to uphold them and esteem them. And of course, then also goes with that obedience, or that word keep, listen, which listen implies that you're going to hear and have a response to that, an obedient response to that. So we've covered that whole idea of careful. So I don't want to go through that all again. But I loved the word wholehearted. Wholehearted. And I was thinking of all the things that I am wholeheartedly devoted to or committed to, however you might want to phrase that. My family, they have my wholehearted devotion. My parents at this time in the season of the life that they're in, and I've always been committed to my parents, but now as an adult, and they are older in a different way. I'm committed to ministry. I'm committed to read through the Word. I am committed. I started thinking of all the things. I am committed to watching I only have 2 shows that I like to watch, and I'm committed to watching those shows every week. And if I'm not home to watch them, I have them, DVR'd, and I'll watch them later. So it's like I'm committed to doing that. And then there's been times where I've been committed to watching an old series on either Netflix or like on one of the cable channels will run, like one of the series that I was recently watching was ER, and it's an old series, so you might not even know about it. But I started watching it early on years ago, and I never finished watching the whole thing. So I was excited. I was committed to watching that. So let's think about the mindset. What am I wholeheartedly committed to? Do I put as much energy into those things as I do my relationship with God? Right? That's the question we want to answer. The word wholeheartedly in Hebrew, here in Deuteronomy 26, means the inner man. It implies your whole mind and your thinking, and everything is upward focused, right? So I decided I would look in, it's not dictionary.com, and I can't remember which dictionary site it is. And maybe by the time I get back to my computer, I will remember that I need to put the link to it. But it was a different dictionary site, which is so interesting because again, you just find all kinds of great things. Just keep digging around. It's so fun. But wholehearted is marked by three things. And you know how I am with my words rhyming and kind of going together. This is how it came out. I didn't make this up. It was right on this website. Unconditional commitment, unstinting devotion, and unreserved enthusiasm. That's how they defined wholeheartedly or wholehearted. Wow. Think about all the things that we have an unconditional commitment to. Think about all the things that we have an unstinting devotion to. And we have an unreserved enthusiasm for. That's the one that got me. I mean, it's easy to be like committed to something. No, I mean, like on Thursdays, I'm going to my parents. But am I enthusiastic about it? Right? Every day I'm going to get up and read my Bible. But do I have unreserved enthusiasm about it? Not always. Just putting it out there. Not always. I'm tired. I just got to sleep good. Or I woke up. Sometimes I have like 3 or 4 naps in the middle of the night, if you know what I mean. And I'm tired. But my alarm goes off and I get up. Because I do have that unconditional commitment. And I do have that unstinting devotion, which is a devotion without limitation or restriction. I do get up. But I don't always have enthusiasm about it. And that's the one that kind of stung me, that I really need to work on. But let's connect that with the New Testament. This is where the fun comes in. We are also expected to have this same kind of inner man or woman enthusiasm and devotion to God. It involves our mind, our character, our whole inner self. In fact, it wasn't Strong's, I believe it's Help's studies that is in one of the lexicons that I use, said that it is the center and seat of our spiritual life. That it's the soul and mind, because the soul and mind are the foundation and the seat of our, this is good, the foundation and the seat of our thoughts, our passions, our desires, our appetites, our affections, and our purposes, and our endeavors. So it goes just beyond our mind. It's endeavors. I mean, it's every part of us is upward focused, is looking towards heaven, thinking of heaven. Our desires, think of heaven first. Our endeavors, think of heaven first. Our appetites, what we hunger for, think of God first. Think of heaven first. Think of our spiritual life first. It takes a whole new meaning on. I know you're sitting there going, wow, never thought about that way. Me neither. But look at this verse. And this is where I came up with the title of Living Thankful with Devotion, because look at this verse in Romans. This is Paul writing, thank God. Once you were slaves of sin, but now you wholeheartedly obey this teaching we have given you. Thank God, yes. Our devotion, our wholehearted, upward-focused, heaven-focused, God-centered thinking should be celebrated and lived out in gratitude, because we are no longer a slave to sin. Don't you love this? This is so delicious. This should be our response. I am so thankful that I am no longer a slave to sin. It doesn't mean I don't sin. Please don't hear that. That's not what I'm saying. We're not a slave to it anymore. It still has a pull on us, but it doesn't have the power over us. We have the power over sin. We have a pull to it because we're flesh. We're still here, but it no longer has power over us. That is what we're thankful for. And thank God we're not like that anymore. We will wholeheartedly obey the teachings that we've been taught. And I know he's talking to the Roman church, and I know he's referencing that, but we're just like them. We're saved. We're saved Gentiles, just like they were. So what kind of devotion do you have? Where's your little area of weakness? Where's your unweakness? Is it in commitment? Is it in devotion? Is it enthusiasm? Mine, like I said, is in an enthusiasm. I need to work on that. I need to ask God to work in me, to give me what I need. And he does. He works in us and through us. Just help me to focus on the things that I need to focus on so that I can tune up my enthusiasm and how excited I am to get up and have the opportunity to spend time with him every single day and live thankful that I'm not a slave to sin. And that thankfulness should be echoing in my wholehearted devotion and obedience to God. See you next time on Read Through the Word.